Hi, welcome to my Kickstarter project. My name is Daniel, and today's Kickstarter project is Elemental World: The Sacrifice. Basically, this is a reboot that I'm trying to build of the old game called Sacrifice, which was made by Shiny Interplay. I'm not sure who owns the rights, but apparently Interplay are also selling off them rights, but that's good. Anyway, uh, with this, it's basically just trying to get some extra funds to speed up the development and sort of finish off the last few minutes of development type thing. So far in the game, it has got terrain creation, which is obvious, but we basically got a stamp system. So basically, we can design it as a stamp, or we can get some stamps together and just basically like stamp on mountains into the terrain, so we know that this is a mountain, it looks like this, and you just go clonk, that goes there, which will speed up terrain creation a lot. It automatically sticks trees down where trees are available to go. You can tell it to, it automatically puts down the textures, so it reduces texture time and everything like that, and all that's fine. But so what the main game has got at the moment is just the basic RPG stuff, which I'll be showing on screen in a minute, and that is basic quest systems, combat, summoning pets which attack for you, the ability to turn into other monsters, so you can try and, if it was another player looking at you, you can try and disguise as a minion and then sort of run around and hide and things like that. You've got horses and other mounts, so you can transform into a mount and then obviously get faster across the battlefield to get to, let's say, the turret point where you want to defend. You've got building placement, so you can put down a fence and things to try and slow down the path of the enemy, and eventually that will also be how you get your mana and things like that. We've got a basic status system, so you can like up your mana and health and everything else. You've got basic equipment, shops, quests, all that sort of basic RPG stuff. So essentially the game is near ready to go. The money raised will be going towards getting more AI made, getting some sound and art assets upgraded, and just general sort of things like that. So for example, if we wanted a set of, I think it's about 20 monsters, it's going to be costing us about £400 to £500. Then on top of that is textures. So obviously, instead of having a red beetle, we want a blue beetle. Now, for certain models that we can get, that's easy enough to change. That's just a setting that we can change. But for other models, like the older models that we have, is that will actually need to be redone by a professional texture person to modify it to look like a new texture, and then it will just be a case of changing the colours in settings. It's obviously got basic creation of characters, and so you can pick your own wizard, but unfortunately we've only got limited models, so obviously we need to make some more models for that. And you'll see on the background and everything, I'm going to be flashing up like the player creator and things like that. And it's got a teleportation system, so you can go and teleport between the levels. So obviously if you build a teleporter, it will teleport you to the other side of the map, so that way if you've gotten to, if it's a super large map, you can teleport across the map once they're unlocked and things like that. If for whatever reason, like there is multiplayer involved, but it's at the moment it's a bit buggy, so I don't plan on doing multiplayer unless I can get single player complete to the point where I think, yeah, that's it. And everything's all stable and everything. So for now, like we've got the basic systems and everything. If no matter what, the game's going to get done, because like I said, we've got all the basic systems there. It's just a case of modify them to what we need it to be, build some more AI and things like that. Because at the moment, it's just a case of summon a spider nearby you. You can't say where, it just is nearby, and then that spider will follow you. If you get too far away from it, it will teleport to you, and if you get too close to an enemy, it will attack the enemy, and it does a lot more damage than what you personally can do. So you hit for 1 damage, the AI hits for 12, things like that. And obviously we've got to update all the interfaces, because at the moment we're just using the standard one that came with the equipment we already had second hand sort of thing, because all of the assets we've got currently is what I'm using for my other game, and obviously that's going to be a bit of a problem there. But that's about it. Like, if we get the 5,000, if we get nothing or fail to get the 5,000 and end up getting nothing, the game will be continuing and anyway, but it's just going to be a lot slower because it will be just me on my own having to do every single thing. But obviously, it depending on how much it's, if we miss it by a bit, I'll put up a second PayPal thing, and then people can do it, and it'll be the same rewards and everything. I'm not sure what rewards we're going to have yet. The only thing I can think of is copies of the game, and maybe like some special copies and thanks and the credits and things like that. But I don't know how much that's worth to people, how much they want to pay for the game and things like that. If we get the 5,000, obviously that means I can just go to the asset store, buy the modules I need, buy the building system upgrades, so you can basically build advanced structures rather than just simple pre-built structures. There's and if for whatever reason we get, like, let's say we get a medium increase in the budget from 5,000 to 10,000 or 20,000, obviously that means I can hire some staff to get some AI built for me, and that will speed things up for that point. Or I'll get some terrain people to build me some more stamps, and they can, wipe it out that way. But if we somehow manage to sort of pull something off and get like 100,000, a million, however much we get, some ridiculous number, ideally I'd like to hire people like Tim Curry and the people that originally voice acted the game, to try and, if possible, get some of them to come back and do some voices for our Guardians. Or because Interplay is selling the rights to Shiny and all those other ones, we might even be able to buy it, and instead of being the spiritual successor, it will be an actual sequel. Like, it'll be an official Sacrifice game rather than being add-on to my game type thing. But again, the main sort of issue is getting if we get the big numbers, we can hire full-time staff, which means we can get it done faster. It'll look a lot better and things like that. Anyway, hopefully you get the idea, but like, it makes no money, it'll still be done, it's just going to be very slow. 5,000, which is what I'm asking for, it'll be done a lot faster. And anything more than that will just go towards helping the game develop a bit faster. And if we get super high amounts, let's say that we somehow get given the IP and all the other things, we can still hire big names people, or even popular YouTubers or something like that, to do the voice work for the monsters and the Guardians and all the other things. I have a few ideas on who I would want to hire if it was YouTubers, if we can't get obviously the original voice actors and things. But for now, we're going to have just the voice acting and stuff is just going to be secondary, while at early stage development is just going to be getting the basic game out, making sure there's no major bugs, and getting it all out. Hopefully, if successful, end of the year